Yo, what is up, nerds? We are here with Goon and 7Rav from Tier 1 commentating the beginning stages of a Tier 2-3 combined race. We were low in attendance this week, likely due to the ongoing football matches and the USA GP. So, with that, we combined the Tier 2 and Tier 3 attendance. I have to sign off a little bit earlier, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to get the full stream in, but this will have to do for the time being. The Tier 2 race is actually, the Tier 1 race is actually going to be starting a little bit earlier as well due to the USA GP, so bear that in mind. You're only going to get about half of a race. But I digress. Getting all set up here. Gonna jump on board with Golden Egg. Looks like you might actually be coming into the pits. Let's see if Lisa's on a lap. She might be coming into the pits as well. Bushy down on his time. All day appears to be pushing. All day through the back DRS straight, going into the tricky right-hander immediately into the left. Goes a little bit deep there, tries to get onto the power earlier. Misses the apex quite a bit, has to overcompensate while going onto the curbs. Let's see, doesn't take the shortest line possible, goes wide, and improves the time, but doesn't improve position, stays P13 currently. Dan Rouge starting their lap. Dan Rouge is a Tier 2 driver, one of the Tier 2 drivers, I believe. Actually, I could be wrong, I think Tier 2 driver. Currently 2/10 down. Goes quite deep heading into the back straight here. And Fatal Nation retires. I don't see a retirement on track. Did he retire in the pits? Probably retired in the pits. This is Q1 out of 3 Q3 rounds, or 3 Q qualifying rounds. If you're not familiar with the format, it goes Q1, 5 drivers eliminated. Q2, another 5 drivers eliminated, and then Q3 is the top 10 shootout. So TDA, Dan Rouge is unable to improve their time. All day looks to be attempting another hot lap. Just gonna jump over to Papouts as well. Papouts completing, or improving their time, and in Sector 3 now heading into the banking right corner, leading onto the straight, front straight. Goes wide as well. A lot of drivers taking that extremely wide line, and Papouts jumps up to P7. Should be good enough for a Q2 appearance. Podulator getting ready to go for their hot lap now. They don't have a time quite yet, so Podulator needs to set this time in order to advance out of Q1. A little bit slow on the acceleration. It'll probably cost me about a 10th. Going into the banking left-hander. Onto the winding straight, which completes Sector 1. According to the game, that is a purple Sector 1. Not too sure though, this game is glitchy as all heck when it comes to sector times. Onto the back straight now, I guess technically the first DRS zone. Over the tricky right-hander into the immediate left-hander. Able to get the power down fairly quickly. Stays within track limits there. Also takes the wide line heading into the front straight, and Podulator jumps to P13 with a 1:12.3. On board with Soprano now. Soprano coming into the final section. I had to really get off the gas there and goes for a big old spin. Fortunately, Soprano is probably gonna have to jump into the pits, and that might be it for Soprano. I'm not too sure if they'll be able to pit and go again. Mac Attack starting their lap now with a 1:11.9 might be safe. In fact, probably is safe. Doesn't need to destroy their soft tires, but it's right on board regardless. Actually, it looks like Huddled Cookie has also just started their lap. Good too. Oh, never mind. Just finished their lap. Now here's the thing too, 10% ERS. This track is super tricky with ERS because you want to run such high wings that you're likely going to run out of ERS really quickly if you push too much, and it doesn't actually allow you to do two hot laps in a row. So say going into Q2 you want to run medium tires, you're probably not going to be able to push 2 laps because you're not going to have enough ERS to do so. Looks like Leo is heading back out, although going very slowly. He might have invalid or messed up their first sector, now just recharging the battery, conserving tire life. Might be okay, to be honest, in the to get through to Q2. Soprano's gonna have to push really hard in order to even be able to set a lap, and right now Leo is 7/10 up from P15. Actually, make that 8/10. Anyhow, Leo coming through the final corner onto the front straight here. Leo will begin their final hot lap of the Q1 session. Takes that fairly nicely. Avoids both curbs there. Drops it into second gear, quick shift up. Wants to maximize the amount of acceleration they get out of that corner so that you have a long stretch of winding pushing come through here. Drops it into P5, just holds on to that. Catches the inside curb, which is what you want to do. Misses the apex a little bit there, upshifts quickly to 3, 4, 5. Interesting. You don't see too many drivers drop it to second gear going through there, but I digress. Now coming over the tricky right-hander into the immediate left, goes all the way down to the first gear. Heading into the 5-place grid penalty for a collision for Soprano, but back to Leo coming around the final corner here, activates DRS, and Leo does manage to improve but doesn't increase any position. However, that makes sure that Leo is safe. To be honest, Leo was probably safe to begin with. That's a-okay. Soprano looks to have aborted their lap, so Soprano, Huddled Cookie, and Jay Morris will be, eliminated from the session as we move into Q2. That is the end of Q1. You have Wado, who is the leading Tier 2 driver right now, followed closely by Popov. We are Side Boys and Arvs as the, provisional front row. Front two rows, sorry. Alright, starting the qualifying round 2. Let me bring up the details. We have a few drivers slapping on the old mediums. The nice thing about the nice thing about Zandvoort is that it is a soft to medium or medium to soft track. You don't really need to worry about the hards unless you have pretty crappy tire management. That's not to say that the softs aren't going to be beat up by the end of your stint with them. However, they will be able to hold for about 14 laps, 13 to 14 laps pretty comfortably, and then you can slap on the old mediums, and the mediums once again will be able to probably take you to the end. Or you can do the alternate and go mediums to softs. Softs for a little bit more speed towards the end. Just try and conserve your mediums for as long as possible. But yeah, it looks, at the moment, looks like most drivers are choosing to go with the medium strategy. And it's a good strategy, especially if they want to just set the banker and then potentially go out on a soft run towards the end. See if they even need to. They can always back out of that soft run if they are in a good position to do so. You do lose a bit of time, a bit of lap time with the mediums around Zandvoort. Softs are just a little bit more grippier. It's a really fast track. You want the extra grip. But this is also an interesting field that we have today. We have Tier 2 and Tier 3 drivers. Maybe Tier 2 drivers are feeling a little bit more confident, want to go out on the mediums because they think they can outpush the Tier 3 drivers. Having said that, though, we have some pretty quick Tier 3 drivers right now. They could probably challenge in the with the Tier 2 drivers and definitely push them around the track and keep them straight. We are Side Boys, leading us around the track to start the first Q2 lap. The banker for everyone else to follow. We are Side Boys is underway, heading into the first turn. We're going to ride on board with him. Coming into the final banking corner. Misses the apex a little bit, keeps it in gear 5 for just a little bit more stability. Goes the wide line as well, coming across the line, sets a 111.5. 111.5, it's a pretty good banker actually on the medium compound. You expect the softs to go about 7/10ths faster in this particular qualifying session. Fatal Nation with a slower 113.1. Wado comes across the line with a 111.5 on the softs. I wonder if Wado may have backed out a little bit on their lap time. Papout's coming across with a 111.9 on the mediums. Popov with a 112.1. Cushy looks to have gotten out of the way of the Red Bull ahead. Lisa coming across the line with a 1:16.5. That's definitely not representative of her lap time. She might have had a little bit of a mistake, backed out slightly. Looks like she does have a full tank of ERS, so she is probably starting her hot lap now. Getting down on the acceleration nice and early, going through this winding corner, touches the curb a little bit, that's okay, doesn't disturb the car too much. Apparently that is a purple sector 1. She had to release the throttle ever so slightly, catches inside curb. Just good traction through those quick movements in sector 2. DRS straight, heading into the very bumpy right-hander. Has a really good line through there, quick acceleration. Catches a bit of the curb, surprisingly doesn't disturb the car all that much. She opens the DRS and she comes across the line with a 1:12.1. Jumping back down the order. Looks like Denbridge is actually backed out of their lap. We're going to hop on board with Leo here. Leo, unfortunately, had to get off the gas a little bit through there and goes very deep around here, and Leo's probably going to want to just back out of the lap. Golden Egg starting their lap on the mediums. Upshifts really quickly there. It is a tricky traction zone, so upshifting can really help with the traction. It will make you a bit slower heading into that winding straight, but sometimes that's what you need. Misses the apex a little bit there, kind of backs out. We Are Sideboys is getting out of the way, takes the grass line. Golden Egg opening up his DRS onto the back straight here. Takes the curb really nicely. Keeps the momentum going. Heading into the final corners here. Keeps it in gear 5, which probably doesn't help in rotation, but will help in traction. Golden Egg coming across the line with a 1:11.9, putting in P3 for the medium runners. So currently we have We Are Sideboys leading the way on the mediums with a 1:11.5, followed closely by Watto with also a 1:11.5. However, Watto set his time on the softs. Golden Egg P3 with a 1:11.9, followed by Papouts also with a 1:11.9 on mediums. A 1:12.0 for Horsebents. He's done 3 push laps on the mediums. Arv's 1:12.0 as well. Popov with a 1:12.1, and Lisa with a 1:12.1 too. Fatal Nation also a 1:12.1 on mediums. So pretty, actually really close field here. Bunch of 1:12.1s, 1:12.0s, 1:11.9s. All within 3/10 from P10 to P3. Cushy setting a time on softs with a 1:12.0. Says 3-lap old softs, so hopefully Cushy goes back out. Yeah, I hope Cushy goes back out, because Cushy does not want to start a start on already 3-lap old softs. They're going to be shredded. And that will make a soft to medium strategy extremely difficult. Arvs improves up to P3 with a 1:11.7 on their second push lap on the mediums. You don't want to have a slow in lap here, but 1:11.7 is a great time as well on the mediums. So We Are Sideboys and Arvs in really good positions to be able to keep mediums on for the remaining session, remaining Q2 session, and start, as a result, start on the mediums. Now, I actually also don't know what the weather is, but it seems because so many people went out with the mediums that the weather is starting, the race will start sunny. No clue whether or not it's going to hold. Everyone jumping into the pits, ours just completing their lap now, back to the pits, taking it nice and slow to make sure they utilize the lifespan of their medium tires. Alright, sorry. Who do we have coming out? So we have Mac Attack leading the way for their second time. They're heading back out on the mediums, so they're going to want to try and qualify on the mediums. Let's watch them start their lap, heading into the first turn, Sector 1. Gets pretty good rotation out of there. A little bit slow on the throttle, but that's okay. Misses the apex quite significantly, unfortunately. Wants to try. Oh, slightly destabilized heading into the fast S's here. Is surprisingly up by 8/10, so they'll want to keep it going. Keeps it in 7th gear. Crazy. Not a lot of acceleration through there as a result, and misses the apex. I'd be surprised if Mac Attack stays on for this lap. I would probably, well, let's see what the Sector 2 comes through as. Sector 3 down by 9 thousandths of a second. Mac Attack needs to improve by probably 2 to 3 tenths in order to comfortably stay there, or stay within the top 10. So Mac Attack coming across the line, goes for a 112.0. Wow, improves a lot on their final sector. So that's good for them. Leo about to start their lap on softs. Fatal Nation coming across the line with a 111.4. Shoots him way up to first on the grid. TDA Danrush currently up by 5 thousandths of a second coming across the final turn here. Opens up the DRS and comes across with a 112.4. Isn't able to catch the rest of the grid. So Leo currently 1.5 tenths up after Sector 1. It's a good rotation there. And Lisa has retired, so Lisa has called it a day in the pits. She's settling for P11, hopefully. Which is, you know, not necessarily the worst strategy. She can start on mediums, push for them as long as she needs to. Swap over to the softs. Leo's still up on their time with a 1.7. Goes a bit deep coming out of there. Excuse me. 1/10 up. Coming across the final corner here, opening up the DRS. Comes across the line with a 111.8, so that pushes Leo into the top 3. Leo is going to want to really milk his in-lap here, just make sure he gets into the box, keep those tires nice and fresh. Jumping on board, Cushy maybe is starting their lap now? That was confusing. I actually have no clue what just happened. Popov going extremely slow, currently in P11. So Cushy, keep in mind too, Cushy set his time on 3-lap-old softs, and now is going for a second push lap another pair of softs that he's already done a push lap on. So Cushy's in a situation where his tires might potentially be the oldest on the grid when they line up to start the race. Cushy just 1/10 up. But at this rate, Cushy wants to finish his lap, because if he doesn't, he starts on the very old softs. And Cushy fails. And Popov jumps into the pits. So there are your top 10 going through. You have Fatal Nation, followed by We Are Side Boys, Watto, Arbs, MacTac, Leocritus, Golden Egg Friar, Papouts, Horsefence, and Cushy. Those that got eliminated are Popov, Lisa Mafia, Dan Roosh, and Podulator. Alright, after a very long wait, we are finally underway for Q3. Once again, we are side boys, straight out of the pits to start their lap. We are side boys loves to get underway as fast as possible. We are side boys getting their lap underway, going into turn 1, setting the lap that everyone else is going to be chasing. Heading into the banking, left-hander gets on the acceleration fairly nicely there, heading into the S's. We have some slow cars in sector 3, looks like they're just jockeying for position before they set their hot laps. Side boys heading onto the front straight, back straight here, opens up the DRS. Gets their acceleration really nicely as well, which is paramount. Heading into the right, and then immediately left-hander. And into the final right-handed banking corner that we all love to launch out of. Opens up the DRS, coming across the line with a 1:11.3, so 1:11.3 setting the time that everyone else is going to be chasing. Fatal Nation also on their lap and catches the curb, goes for a little bit of a spin. Fatal Nation's going to want to set themselves really quickly here. Arbs might have been distracted a little bit with that, but no harm done at the moment. Arbs coming across the line with a 1:11.0. Papouts opening up their DRS, coming across the line with a 1:11.1. So AlphaTauri with a strong performance at the moment. Horsemen's with a 1:11.5. We have Watto coming across, coming across the final, out of the final corner now, opening up the DRS. Watto putting themselves across the line with a 1:10.89, which is kind of what we expect to see as the track begins or progressively improves. I would imagine that pole time is going to be looking at something like a 1:10.7, 1:10.6 for these guys. Golden Egg opening up their DRS. Golden Egg coming across the line with a 1:11.4. Leo has set at 1:11.6. Horsemen's with a 1:11.5. Mac Attack looks like they probably aborted their lap and shot a 1:16.2. Fatal Nation and Cushy in the pits. Fatal Nation had a little bit of a spin on their first lap, probably threw on some fresh softs, and they are going to get underway. Yeah, exactly. So, Fatal Nation coming out of the pits with some fresh softs as well as Cushy. And Watto improves their time with a 1:10.8. So Watto did 2 push laps in a row in order to set a faster 1:10.8. Watto's going to want to push themselves back to the pits and throw on their remaining soft tires. So Cushy, just the back straight behind Fatal Nation. So Fatal Nation is going to take us around the track, followed closely by Cushy. The last two drivers waiting to set time. DRS wide open. Lap time starting now, heading into the first corner for Fatal Nation. Gets really close to the inside curb. To the winding S straight. Comes across with a 25.0. Cushy also going to be coming across also with the 25.0, so these drivers are neck and neck right now with their times. You know, I just realized that I have been talking for a very long time with a muted mic, so terribly sorry about that. Wow. Commentator's mistake. It's also still early here and I'm hungover, so bear with me. Alright, drivers getting ready to start the race out on the formation lap. They are led by Watto, followed by Papotes in the AlphaTauri. We are side boys. Arvs, Horsebent's Golden Egg, Fatal Nation, Leo, Mac Attack, and Cushy rounding out top 10. Closely followed by Popov on the mediums as well. Lisa Mafia in P12 on the mediums. Dan Roosh, also mediums, P13, followed by Podulator. Podulator deciding to go with the softs, gonna want a good start there. NYK all day on the softs. Huddled Cookie, also on the softs. Jay Morris, softs. Soprano, DSQ'd from the formation lap. They clearly had a little bit of an oops. Looks like Golden Egg Fryer did as well. FSA BA 2007 rounding out the grid in P19 on the softs, and the other Aston Martin. Once again, just a reminder to our viewers, not that we have a lot, I'm pretty sure there's only one of you on right now. Ugh, ridiculous. I do have to jump over to the Tier 1 race fairly shortly, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to see the full extent of this race, but we are going to see the opening few laps, which are arguably some of the greatest spectacles in sports, because anything and everything usually happens in the opening few laps. Watto in autopilot mode being taken to the starting position. See the DSQ drivers on the right. Watto qualified on the mediums, so he will start on the mediums, which gives an immediate advantage, to some of the drivers behind. Papout's also qualified on mediums. We are side boys mediums as well. Arv's qualified on mediums too. Horsebent's mediums. Wow, a lot of medium drivers. Golden Egg, I can't quite see. It looks like he's on mediums. Fatal Nation qualified on softs. Leo softs. Mac Attack mediums, and Cushy mediums. Jumping back up to the start of the grid, it's 5 lights out, and away we go. Watto leading the way. A good start from him. You can see clearly a full car's length ahead. Papout's maintaining P2. We are side boys. Goes for a little bit of a look outside, but doesn't commit. Looks like there's some jockeying going on back there. Both Mercedes in a bit of a situation. Jay Morris looks to have dropped down a position, trying to go the long way around the teammate, but unfortunately Huddle Cookie maintaining that position. TDA Dan Roosh unfortunately losing the end plate on the left-hand side. That's going to significantly slow him down. Jumping back through here. Looks like there was overall fairly damage-free, which is always good to see. Jumping back up to the top of the grid, we are side boys chasing down Papout's. Watto trying to. Looks like someone's gone for a spin. FSA has gone for a spin. Huddled Cookie gets passed by Jay Morris along the straight. So Jay Morris, being a championship contender in Tier 2, desperately needs to make up positions, and that's probably why Jay Morris started on the soft compound tire. Watto completing the first lap, and it looks like, oh my goodness. Surprisingly, no retirees, but wow, that was absolute carnage. Oh my goodness. I don't know how that only brought out a virtual safety car, because that was absolute carnage. However, I do think that virtual safety car has been set to reduce. I don't know. If I were the drivers that just got absolutely obliterated, Mac Attack and Lisa, I would be very disappointed that that didn't bring out a safety car, because now they are way back and almost a pit stop behind. Lisa throwing on the hard compound tire, Mac Attack going with the softs, and we're green racing once again. Watto coming through the final corner onto the straight. DRS is enabled, and Papotes has managed to keep nice and close to Watto there. We are sorry, boys. Keeping up with them, dropping a little bit back is Arvs, unfortunately, and All Day has retired. Looks like All Day went for a big old spin coming out of there, and yep, absolutely demoed. And that is only a double yellow flag. So I think they are experimenting today with doing reduced safety car, but I think there are, I would argue it's important to keep safety car as is, because now you have situations where, one, that driver is right in the line of everyone. Lisa goes wide, catches some unfortunate grass, and We Are Side Boys. Oh my goodness, did he go for a spin? We Are Side Boys has gone for a spin, or maybe went for a dive. No clue, but unfortunately he's going to have to give up some positions, and that is dangerous. We Are Side Boys not giving up the position to Leo, so Leo's going to want to try and fight back that position, gets the DRS. Golden Egg manages to take... Whoa, hold on. Cushy up, all the way up to P6 so far. So Cushy followed closely by their teammate. Arvs in P4, so Arvs must have gotten overtaken by Horsebents, and we have another yellow. Who is it? I think it's FSA. So Watto leading the way, followed by unfortunately Papotes has lost DRS, so Papotes is going to want to try and push a little bit to catch back up to Watto. Popov managing to overtake Arvs now too, so Arvs kind of getting eaten up on those mediums. Might not be treating him nearly as well as others. Jay Morris clearly taking full advantage of those soft compound tires and climbing all the way up to P8 just after just 4 laps. So from about P17 or so all the way up to P8 in 4 laps. It's pretty darn impressive, and you can see why he's a championship contender right now. Cushy extremely close to Arvs as well, and Arvs is trying to fight back with Popov, so Arvs trying to regain positions that he's lost. Okay, We Are Side Boys. We Are Side Boys doesn't appear to have gotten damage, so staying out. Only in P11, so that's still okay. And oh my goodness! Soprano was unable to save it after catching some dirt. And Soprano, what a daredevil, riding without a helmet. Oh man, I love this game. And Podulator is crashed. Oh no, what happened to Pod? Oh. What? That brings out a safety car. Okay, we finally get a safety car. Let's see what Watto does. Watto on the mediums, stays out on the mediums. Probably a good call. And the reason why is because you can do a medium to soft strategy around this track. And to throw on the hards, if anything happens, you're going to be a sitting duck later on in the race. So he stays out. Lisa Mafia, you know, Lisa could actually throw on a fresh set of, no, the mediums won't last from this point, but, so Lisa on the hards, she'll, oh, wow, that's super unfortunate. She picks up 3-second time penalty under safety car. So she jumps into the pits. We'll see what she does here. She might throw on the mediums, see where they take her. 30 laps on the mediums, though, is going to be a bit of a stretch. I wouldn't say it's impossible, especially with maybe like another lap or two under safety car. She could potentially make it work. We'll see. FSA puts on the hards. FSA is easily a lap down and is all over the place. Okay. Fatal Nation throwing on the hards, Leo throwing on the mediums, Jay Morris throwing on the mediums as well, and Jay Morris throwing on the hards, and Cushy throwing on the hards. So Leo going to want to try and, make moves as soon as possible, being that he has two hard runners in front. However, and interesting enough, Leo and Lisa both on the medium compound tire. Now, once again, I would say it's not impossible to go the entire way. Someone jumps into the pits. That's Fatal Nation jumping into the pits. No, it's not. It's Mac Attack. So Mac Attack jumping into the pits. Going with the hard compound tire. Is Lisa able to jump him? No, I don't think Lisa's going to be able to jump him. FSA jumps into the pits to retire, so FSA is out. Everyone is penalty free except for Lisa. She has picked up the only 3-second time penalty of the session. Once again, Watto followed by Papouts, Horsebats, Popov, and Arbs. Arbs has lost a position. Popov has gained about 7 positions from his starting position in P11. We are Sideboys has managed to recover a few positions. Originally P3, now P7, but briefly dropped it down to P11. Soprano making up positions as well with a P8 currently. Huddled Cookie staying out on the soft compound tire. 6 laps old. They probably have about another 6 or 7 laps left in them, so they could be okay. Safety car is in this lap. Lisa has caught back up to the back of them there. So Watto leading this one. Oh man, I gotta go in like a minute. But Watto leading this one, getting underway, heating up the tires. He's let the safety car take off. The safety car still has a long way to go to get back into the pits before Watto can launch. But this one is actually a tricky one because you can't really catch too many people sleeping. Papouts super close behind. Papouts burning the DRS as well. Going for the lead into turn 1. Isn't able to quite get it. Knocks Watto a little bit, but Watto managing to hang on. Looks like Cushy was briefly ahead of Huddled Cookie for a moment, but Huddled Cookie manages to stay in position. Cushy ahead of Jay Morris. Leo once again on the fresh medium compound. So Leo's going to want to at least stay with these hards for as long as possible. Use them to pull him around and hopefully end up actually being able to capitalize after a couple of laps when those mediums are nice and hot. Fatal Nation having a look though, trying to attack Leo. Hards just don't have quite the grip in order to accelerate. Lisa managing to get around Mac Attack. So Lisa, whoa! Fatal Nation almost lost it on those hards. So you can tell that the hards are still pretty cold, and Lisa managing to make that move stick. She's going to be chasing down Leo now, the other fresh medium runner. Cushy staying on the back of Huddled Cookie, so Huddled Cookie is going to start to struggle, and unfortunately, Watto sets the fastest lap. Unfortunately, Cushy compromised his exit, which means that Leo's going to have a little bit of a charge, and we have Fatal Nation. Oh, Fatal Nation. Ref day for Fatal Nation. Oh, we had some attack. No, Cushy goes for a spin. Oh, Oh, those hards just weren't quite ready. And Cushy, I don't know, did Cushy manage to stay damage-free? Looks like Cushy has stayed damage-free, but unfortunately goes for a big old spin. Fatal Nation decides to retire. Fatal Nation has had enough of this track. Watto leading the way by 2.2 seconds, so it looks like something, looks like a mistake might have happened from Papouts, or he was getting attacked from behind. Followed super closely by Horsefence. I think DRS is going to reactivate this lap as well. So Arv's chasing down Popov, who's chasing down Horsefence, who is chasing down Papouts. And with that note, I do actually have to go to my Tier 1 race. So thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this race goes well for the rest of the session. It's been a blast. Take care, everyone.